So, you just got married. It's the year 1347. You and your wife finally make it back to your small stone room. The candles are lit, the air is cold, and you're both nervous but ready. And just when you're about to consummate the marriage, the door bursts open. The king's guards march in. No explanation, no emotion. And they take your wife. She's terrified. You're helpless. And then someone whispers the words every man dreads. It's the king's right. Because back then, they said kings and even lords had a law that allowed them to sleep with any bride on her wedding night, a rule called Droit du Seigneur. But here's where it gets dark. No one can prove it ever actually existed.
The king's right, or jus prima noctis, has been whispered about for centuries. They said it gave nobles and kings the power to take a bride's virginity before her husband did. It wasn't just lust, it was a symbol, a reminder that everything in the kingdom, even love, belonged to the crown. But here's where it gets weird. There's no written law about it. No record, no royal decree. Not one legal document says the king can do this. Was it real? Or was it something darker, a rumor used to make rulers look like monsters? Historians think the story might have started with something called merchet. It wasn't a sexual act, it was a tax. Peasants had to pay their lord a fee to get married. But think about it. When a poor farmer's daughter is married, and the lord suddenly demands payment for her marriage, you can see how that might turn into darker rumors, especially in a world where nobles did take what they wanted. There are letters, real ones, where lords brag about visiting their servants' brides. Priests wrote furious sermons about wedding nights of sin. Maybe the law wasn't on paper, but it didn't need to be. Power didn't need permission. By the 1700s, this story had evolved into something bigger: propaganda. Writers, philosophers, and revolutionaries used it to make kings look evil. Voltaire wrote about it to mock the church. French revolutionaries used it to say, "See, this is what happens when kings have too much power." It was the perfect myth, shocking, sexual, and believable. And once a story like that gets told enough times, people stop asking if it's true. But here's the part that really twists the knife. Even if Droit du Seigneur wasn't real, the idea of untouchable power was. Because in the castles and courts of Europe, rulers did abuse their people in every way possible. The law didn't have to exist. The fear was real enough. So, was there ever a king who actually used this right? Not officially, but history has stories. In Scotland, legends say King Malcolm demanded bride nights from his vassals. In medieval France, some lords blessed weddings by entering the bridal chambers uninvited. Even in Spain, documents describe nobles who shared the bed of their servants. So no, there was never a law, but there were powerful men, and they didn't need laws. This right might have been a myth, but the behavior behind it was real. Abuse, humiliation, domination, the invisible laws of power. So maybe the story isn't about sex at all. Maybe it's about how far people will go when they believe they're untouchable. The kings are gone now, but the idea that power gives permission never really left, did it?